For 228 years, this small island off the coast of Nova Scotia has consumed millions of dollars and the obsessions of everyone from Franklin D. Roosevelt to Hollywood legends. 6 people have died searching for what lies beneath. And despite over 2 centuries of digging, nobody knows if there's anything there at all. This is the story of the Oak Island Money Pit, history's most expensive treasure hunt that might not have any treasure. Summer, 1795. A teenager named Daniel McGinnis is exploring Oak Island when he notices something strange. A circular depression in the ground beneath an old oak tree. Branches above show saw marks. Something was hung here, something heavy. McGinnis returns with 2 friends. They start digging. 2 feet down, they hit flagstones that don't belong there. They keep going. At 10 feet, an oak platform, 20 feet, another platform, 30 feet, another. Someone built this, layer by layer, going down. But here's the first problem. The earliest published account didn't appear until 1857, 62 years after it supposedly happened. No contemporary documentation exists. We're already starting with a story that might be a story about a story. But the legend takes hold. 1802. The Onslow Company digs to 90 feet. They find charcoal, putty, and coconut fiber in Nova Scotia, where coconuts don't grow. At 90 feet, they supposedly find a stone with symbols carved into it. Later translations claim it says, 40 feet below, 2 million pounds lie buried. Then the pit floods. Overnight, 60 feet of water rushes in. They can't pump it out. Every time they try to dig deeper, it floods again. Someone, the theory goes, built an elaborate booby trap system, flood tunnels from the ocean, protecting something valuable. Or maybe not, but we'll get to that. 1909. A 27-year-old law clerk named Franklin Roosevelt joins the Old Gold Salvage Group. They dig. They find nothing. But Roosevelt stays obsessed. For the rest of his life, even as president, he follows news from Oak Island. He plans to visit in 1939 during a trip to Halifax, but fog and rising tensions before World War II keep him away. He's not alone. John Wayne invests equipment. Errol Flynn puts in money. Vincent Astor, the Titanic heir, becomes a passive investor. This isn't just a local curiosity. It's captured some of the most powerful people in the world. But there's a cost, a real cost. 1861, first death, pump boiler explosion. 1897, Maynard Kaiser falls to his death. Then comes August 17, 1965, the worst day in Oak Island's history. Robert Ristall is working in a shaft when he's overcome by hydrogen sulfide fumes. His 18-year-old son climbs down to save him. He collapses. 2 more men attempt rescue. Within minutes, all 4 are dead. 6 people have died chasing this mystery, and the search only intensifies. 1965. A causeway is built to bring a 70-ton crane. 1971. The Triton Alliance digs a shaft 235 feet deep. Underwater cameras are lowered. Some claim to see chests. Human remains. The footage is too murky to confirm anything. 2014 to present. The History Channel turns it into a media empire. The Curse of Oak Island. 10 seasons and counting. But after all that digging, all that money, all those lives, what have they actually found? Let's separate documented discoveries from disputed claims. The coconut fiber at Smith's Cove. Real. Confirmed by the Smithsonian in the early 1900s. Old coins. Found. Metal fragments. Recovered in 1800s drilling. Wooden structures. Verified. There's also a parchment fragment allegedly found in 1896. Shows letters in India ink, and various platforms and earthworks that predate known settlement in the area. So something was happening on this island. But the most important evidence, gone. That inscribed stone, the one that supposedly said 2 million pounds lie buried. It was examined in 1911, found to be blank basalt, no symbols. The translation first appeared in a 1949 book with no source given. and the stone itself has disappeared. No original documents exist from the Onslow Company or other early excavation groups. That underwater footage from 1971 showing chests and human remains. 2016, divers went back down to the same shaft, found nothing. Pattern emerging, big claims, missing evidence. But here's where it gets interesting. What if there's no mystery at all? Oak Island sits on a limestone geology with natural water-filled cavities. Limestone dissolves, creates voids, sinkholes. Trees fall into these sinkholes during storms. Over centuries, layers build up. From above, it looks like platforms. The flooding, natural. The island has a freshwater lens that interacts with tides. Anhydrite deposits create underground channels. Dig deep enough, you hit water. Always. 1995. The Woods Hole Oceanographic Institute conducts the only peer-reviewed scientific study of Oak Island. They run dye tests. The flooding is natural, not from man-made tunnels. The booby trap theory, refuted. So why does this continue? Because Oak Island reveals something about us, about human nature. It's the sunk cost fallacy. We've invested this much, we can't stop now. It's confirmation bias, finding evidence that supports what you already believe while ignoring what doesn't. It's the romance of buried treasure, the universal fantasy that wealth and adventure are just one shovel away. There's even a curse. 7 must die before the treasure is found. 6 have died. The narrative practically demands someone keep searching. It's perfect folklore, self-sustaining, self-fulfilling. And now it's an industry. The TV show, tourism, books, documentaries, merchandise, the mystery makes money. Does media prolong the mystery for profit? The island itself is scarred by the search, transformed. Hundreds of years of excavation have made it nearly impossible to study what was originally there. But even skeptics admit there are legitimate questions. Why is there coconut fiber at Smith's Cove? Even if it's packing material, why buried at that specific location? Were there pre-settlement activities we don't understand? What was the original discovery really about? Even if there's no treasure, something drew McGinnis to that spot. If it's just an old tar kiln or salt works, that's still historically significant. We've just been too obsessed with treasure to study the actual history. After 228 years, millions spent, 6 lives lost, and enough dirt moved to fill a stadium, Oak Island has given up no treasure. But it has revealed something else. How desperately we want to believe in hidden wonders. How easily legend overtakes fact. How the search itself can become more valuable than what we're searching for. Whether the money pit is an elaborate 18th century engineering marvel or just a sinkhole with a good story, the real treasure of Oak Island might be the questions it forces us to ask. About evidence, about belief, about the stories we tell ourselves. The search continues, the mystery endures, and maybe that's exactly what we want.